Hello friends. So today we are going to see another theory, that is Mercian theory of identity crisis, and I am Dr. Niaz Ahmed, and today we are going to discuss this theory in detail. So let's proceed. So first question comes in our mind, that what is identity? And here basically we are going to discuss about the identity of the adolescence. Okay, so let's see what is identity here. It is nothing but it is our sense of who we are, and it is the sense of belonging to a social category. So it is dynamic, complex, and it changes over time. So it is dynamic, it is complex, and changes over time. For example, if you're doing SSC, your identity will be different. If you're just done your graduation, your identity will be different. And if you have done your BEd or any other course, your identity will be different. So it is dynamic, it is complex, and it changes over time. So it is includes who are you, and it includes name, gender, race, religion, occupation, role, and so much more in that. So it begins during the childhood at parents provide role models, and continues during adolescence as teens establish their own identity. So the this identity crisis begins from the childhood only, and here the parents play a very vital role in providing role models for the child. And during the adolescence they try to establish their own identity. The crisis will be much more. So this is all about identity here. So there are two types of identity: social identity and uh, self identity. So there are two types of identity: social identity and self identity. So self identity is nothing but it is how you see yourself, and social identity is how others see you. So this is the basic difference, that how you perceive about yourself, how see about yourself is called self identity, and how others see you is social identity. So each of us has multiple identities at a time that may be more or less important depending on the context we find ourselves in. So at a time we have multiple identities, like we have gender identity like male, female. Okay, and then we have religious identity, any religion we belongs to. Then we have national identity. Then we have political identity. Okay, then we belongs to any political party. Then we have regional identity, any state we belongs to. Then we have professional identity, any profession we belongs to. Then we have cultural identity, and we have class identity. So these are the identities which we have at a time, and it depends, and the importance of these identity depends on the context we find ourselves in. Okay, so an adolescent's identity status depends on two conditions. So basically two conditions are there which determines the identity of any individual or the adolescence. Like if the adolescence is actively searching for or exploring their identity, then if they're actively searching, then there will be crisis. So the first thing is exploring or crisis. So this will be the determinant of identity, that exploring, you are exploring your identity or you are in the crisis of identity. And the second one is if the adolescence is dedicated to or made a commitment to any personal value or belief. And if you're committed to any identity, then this is the second more important condition, that is commitment. So two very important conditions are there for an identity, that is crisis and commitment. So just you have to remember this, that crisis and commitment are generally the determinants of identity. So let's see the crisis, and it happens during the time of choosing. So it refers to time during adolescence when the individual seems to be actively involved in choosing among alternative occupations or belief. So if you have more than one occupations to select, you have more than one occupation as there as an alternative, and you have to select one, or you have more than one belief and you have to select one, then you have in the state of crisis because you're going to choose one among them. Okay, so it is defined a crisis as a time of confusion where old values or choices are being re-examined and new alternatives are explored. So here you are just having your old values are there, but you are re-examining them with the new ones which you have, and you have to select them. Okay. The second one is commitment. So it refers to degree of personal investment the individual expresses in an occupation of belief. So if you're committed to any occupation or any belief, then it is called commitment. So these two conditions are very important for crisis. So this Mercia has identified the theory that is called Mercia's identity development status, and he has identified four identity status. Okay, and these statuses occurs anytime during adolescence. So Mercia has identified four statuses, and these statuses are occur anytime during adolescence. Okay, so here with this table diagram you can just find out those four status. So here this is commitment and this is exploration. So you can see here from left to right it is present and this is absent or no. Here from top to bottom, here present and here absent. They can find out there are four quadrant. So if you see here, this is yes and this is yes. So be both commitment is there as well as crisis is there. Then this is identity achievement. If you see here, you can see yes column is there. So means crisis is there, but if there is no commitment, then this is moratorium. And if you see here, okay, so commitment is there, but if there is no crisis, then this is identity foreclosure. And if there is no commitment as well as no crisis, then this is identity diffusion. So these are the four status of Mercia. So let's see one by one here. So first, before going through into detail, let's see the scenario here. There is a Rajesh, okay, and he is graduating in the following semester. He has not thought about what he wants to do after graduation and has not explored college or job prospects. So if you see here the scenario of Rajesh, so there is no crisis in his case and he has not committed to anyone. So that is identity diffusion. When there is no crisis and no commitment, then this status according to Mercia is identity diffusion. Okay, let's see one more example here. So Ramesh graduated last year. Ramesh still doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. In fact, he hasn't really given much thought at all to what he had like to accomplish. He hasn't applied to any colleges or technical schools. He still works part time at the pizza shop. He doesn't earn enough money to live on his own, so he lives with his parents, but he doesn't pay them any money. Nonetheless, he hasn't even considered applying for a better paying full time job. Whenever his frustrated mother asks, "What are you doing with your life?" he just mutters, "I don't know." Ramesh hasn't even considered this question and has no goals or plans of any sort. So, in this case, also of Ramesh, you can see here he has not done any commitment and he is not having any crisis also. So, this is the first status, that is identity diffusion. Okay, so if there is identity diffusion, then there is no commitment as well as there is no crisis. So these kind of people are very impulsive and they have a very little self direction. Okay, so they have a very little self direction and they are very impulsive. They go along with the air flows. Okay, and they have a very low self esteem also. Okay, so these kind of individuals, they have a very low self esteem. So identity diffusion, low commitment to a particular identity. We may not think about a particular identity until we experience a crisis or otherwise compelled to adopt an identity. So there will be no identity crisis if there is no crisis is there. Okay, so these kind of individuals who are in the state of identity diffusion, these individuals do not have an established identity nor is actively searching for one. So they are not having any established identity also, and they are not actively searching for anyone. So these kind of persons identity remains unresolved, yet there is no identity crisis. So their identity crisis is unresolved as well. Then also they are not very much actively involved in identity crisis. So they have a very low level of exploration. That is why there is no crisis. They are also having a very low level of commitment. These kind of adolescents, they haven't considered their identity at all. They haven't established any life goals. They are reactive. They are floating through, passively floating through life. Whenever the life takes, they're passively floating through that. They're dealing with each situation at it arises. They are not doing any planning or any exploration. They're dealing with each situation at is arises. So let's see the personality characteristics of identity diffusion individuals. So just now we have discussed that they are having a very low level of self-esteem. They have a very low personal autonomy. They are not taking any decisions of their own. That is why they have a very low personal autonomy. They go where the winds blow. Okay, they're very impulsive kind of people. So they most likely to be shy in nature. They are more influenced by peer pressures, so they take decisions by on the influence of the peers. They are having high levels of neuroticism, means they are mental or personality disturbances there in their personality. So they are having dependent style of decision making. So their decisions are taken by others. So their reliance on an external locus of control. So all the decision making or all the identity problems are having an external locus of control. Their control is outside of the individual. So they have a very low level of attachment to the parents. They are not very attached to the parents. Their communication patterns with others have often been inconsistent. So they are not having a very consistent type of communication pattern, and they are more likely to be isolated or stereotyped in their lifestyle of intimacy with others. So they are very side type of people, and they may be very introvert or isolated type of people. They are stereotypes in their lifestyle or intimacy with others. So this is the first status, that is identity diffusion. Let's see the second scenario here. So let's take the case of Jennifer. She is very passionate about music. The parents expect her to follow in their footsteps. She enters pre-medical college program, abandons musical interest. So here you can see here. So she is having commitment, but you can see here crisis is lacking. So this stage is called identity foreclosure. Okay. So this stage is called identity foreclosure, or this status is called identity foreclosure. Let's see the second scenario here. Jasmine, 17, is applying to the same college that her mother and grandmother both attended, and she has decided to degree in teacher education. She really hasn't thought about whether or not she wants to go to college or what other colleges she might like to attend, nor has she considered any other career options besides school teacher. If asked about her plans, she might say, all the women in my family became teachers for a years and then stayed home with their own children. My mom and grandma seems to do just fine, so it seems good enough for me. Jasmine has accepted she will be just like all the other women in her family. She has not questioned whether the life path chosen by other women in her family is acceptable to her, but simply accept that her goal is to proceed according to the usual and customary path of the woman before her. So here also you can see here Jasmine has committed to the job, that is teacher education, because her other women in the family members have done that only. So she has committed, she has shown the commitment, but there is no crisis. Okay, because she blindly accept the things which other women in her family has done. Okay, so this status is called identity foreclosure. So the second status is identity foreclosure. So here a commitment to an identity is there without a crisis. So the commitment is there to an identity without a crisis. So here a commitment is made, but there is no crisis. So she accepts and endorses parental choice and values. So these kind of people are very close minded. people. Okay. So if you see here, so they have a very low degree of exploration but a high degree of commitment. So they have not explored any other career or any other job, but they done a great degree of commitment. So they are not actively trying to determine what is important to them. So they are not trying themselves to just find out what is important to them, but they are accepting what the family says. So they are not questioning the values and beliefs they have been taught in the family. So they obtain their identity simply by accepting the beliefs and values of their family, community, and culture. So they passively accept the identity assigned to them, and they do not question why they should be, and nor do they consider any alternatives. So they have a mimic identity, but it isn't actually a true identity, though they have a mimic identity of their parents. So actually, this is not a true identity. So if you see the personal characteristics of these kind of individuals, so they have a very high level of conformity and authoritarianism. Okay, so they conform to the parents order, so they have a high level of conformity. So they have a low level of autonomy. These kind of individuals also have a low level of autonomy. They are not taking decisions of their own. So they have a low anxiety because they are not going through any crisis, so that is why they have a very low anxiety. They rely on dependent strategies for their decision making. So they also have a very dependent strategies for their decision making. Their parents are taking decisions of for them. So they are not generally open to new experiences. So they are not generally open to new experiences. So they're not searching for any new experiences. Then they use an external locus of control. So here you can see that there is an external locus of control. So they least able to integrate ideas and to think analytically. So they are not been able to think analytically, or they are not been able to integrate ideas also. So they are most likely to make errors in judgment because of reduced attention. So they are not giving attention of their decisions. So most likely that they make errors in their judgment. So most likely to have best friends who were also foreclosed. So they will make friendships to the person who are also foreclosed. And families are very close and child centered. So these kind of families, they are very close and child centered. Okay. So these kind of families are very close and child centered, and there less conflict is there in their families. So there is a less conflict in the families. Then late adolescents have shown more anxious or detached attachment. Their profiles relative to other identity statuses. Okay. So yeah, both genders strongly identify with their fathers and mothers. So they are just mimicking their identity with their fathers and mothers. So these are the personality characteristics of identity. So let's see the scenario here. So let's take the case of Maria. She raised Catholic. She's reading about other religions also at the same time. She attended a Buddhist temple and has also attended a synagogue. Unsure which religion, if any, she wants to follow. So here you can see here. So crisis is there, but she has not committed yet to any particular religion. So this status is called identity moratorium. So the status is called identity moratorium of Marcia's theory. Let's see one more example here of identity moratorium. So let's take the case of Joseph, 14, may suddenly begin to argue with his parents about going to Sunday worship service at the Methodist Christian Church, even though he has attended this service with his family since childhood. Instead, he likes to spend his timing reading about all the different world religions and plan to visit several mosques, temples, and churches around the area to see what their worship services are like, or he may question the logic of religion altogether, and he may even wonder whether God exists at all. It is clear that Joseph is not quite certain what he believes yet, but he is actively exploring and considering what values, principles, and beliefs he wants to live by. So here also in the case of Joseph, he is in the state of crisis, but he has not committed yet to any particular religion. Okay, so this status is also called identity moratorium. So identity moratorium here, the in the midst of a crisis, searching for an identity to adopt. Okay, so he can create conflicts between adolescents and their authority figures. So there is a chances that there will be conflict between the adolescents and the authority figures, like if the family is following any religion and the child is searching for another religion, then there is always a chance for conflict between the authority figures as well as the adolescents. So these kind of individuals, they experience crisis, but they have not committed, no commitment. They often dissatisfied and they are anxious. Okay, so these are the things these individuals will experience. So here they have a high degree of exploration, but a low degree of commitment. So they are searching a lot, but they have not committed. So they have a high degree of exploration, but low degree of commitment. So their identity crisis has prompted to explore and experiment with different values, beliefs, and goals. So they are experiencing this crisis a lot, and this crisis has prompted them to explore and experiments with different values, beliefs, and goals. So they have not made any final decision, so not yet committed to any particular identity. So they are keeping their options open, and they are actively searching for one's occupational, religious, ethnics, or other form of identity at this stage. So they explore many different options and do not feel committed to any one approach. They are not very confirm about any options to commit with. Okay, so here the active identity crisis they may feel, and these crises are confusing for them. Okay, so if you see their personality characteristics of identity moratorium individuals, so they have a high level of anxiety. So the moratoriums have been shown to use denial, projections, and identifications to help keep general anxieties at bay. है ना? So at this stage they are in the denial mode. They are not committed to any identity. They just projecting. They are just trying to identify these or get more information about that, and on this basis they just keep the anxieties at bay. And due to this confusion, they are having a high level of anxiety. So more self-exploration to undertake tasks in a self-directed manner. So they're exploring by themselves only, and they're just proceeding in a self-directed manner. So they are open to experiences. So openness to experience, they show skeptical about ever knowing anything with certainty. Okay, so they're not very certain about anything. So they're skeptical about knowing anything with certainty, able to integrate and analyze information from a variety of perspectives. So they are collecting the data from variety of perspectives and try to analyze and integrate that information. So they use an information oriented style to construct a sense of identity. So they're collecting a lot of information, and they're using the style that is information oriented style to construct a sense of identity, the ability to reflect on diverse information in an analytical manner. So they have established close friendship relationships which are characterized by respecting the integrity of others. So they have also respecting the integrity of other religions also. So they are being open and non-defensive, but have not yet committed themselves to a partner. Okay, so these are the characteristics of identity moratorium individuals who are having in this status. Now the last status, let's see the scenario first. Mangesh, he reads about vegetarian diets. He consulted the nutritionist, became vegetarian, has been a vegetarian for 3 years, and is secure in his identity. Okay, so here in this case, you can see here he reads about vegetarian diet. So he has gone through crisis, and at the same time he has committed also. He became now vegetarian. So both things are there. Crisis is there, and as well as there is a commitment. So this status is called identity achievement. Okay, so let's see the second scenario here. Sharika is there. She cast her vote for Lok Sabha election. The very first year she was allowed to vote, but She did so only after carefully researching all the different candidates and their positions on issues that were important to her. First, she gave a great deal of thought by considering her own belief and value system. Next, she figured out which issues were important to her based on her beliefs and values, and finally, she determined which candidate best matched her beliefs and values on the issue she considered most important. So here Sharika case also, you can see here she has done a lot of exploration about the candidates, and then she has committed and given the vote to candidates whose thought matches with the beliefs and value system of Sharika. Okay, so here crisis is experienced in this status and commitment is also made. So this type of individuals, they are very logical, they are very planful. Okay, they are having high self-esteem and they are introspective also. They introspect all the things about their values, about their beliefs, you can say. Okay, so this identity achievement here, the identity is said to be achieved when the adolescents have undergone a crisis and now made a commitment to a particular identity. So here you can see these here, they have a high degree of exploration and a high degree of commitment also. So they achieve their identity by a process of active exploration and strong commitment. Both are there. Then they are able to prioritize what is important to them. They sorted through the many possibilities of who they wants to be. So they experimented with many different beliefs and values and analyzed their pathway in life. They found one true sense of self here at this stage. The key element of personality development here, that is identity achievement, is the key element of personality development, and they actively explored a wide variety of options available to them. Okay, let's see the personality characteristics of identity achievement individuals. So they will have the high level of achievement motivation. They will be highly motivated individuals, and they will have high level of self-esteem also, because they are very confident about their decisions. So they have very low neuroticism, so they are not having any personality disturbance in them. So they are very clear about that. They will have a high extrovertedness. They are very extrovert individuals. They will have a lowest use of defense mechanism. So they are very, the communicative patterns are very clear. They will not going to use any defense mechanism for their decisions. So they will have low level of shyness and high level of personal autonomy. They are very good decision makers. So they will have high level of internal local of control. So they are taking all the decisions by themselves only by analyzing the information. So they will have the locus of control within them. Okay, so they function well under conditions of stress because they are having the capability to analyze the information. So they use more planned, rational and logical decision making strategies. So because they are having all the information, so that is why they are more planned, take rational and logical decision making strategies. So they are able to develop mutual interpersonal relationship because they are extrovert. Okay, and they were very clear up in their communication. So greater willingness to reveal themselves to others, because they are very clear. So that is why their willingness to reveal themselves to other is at the greatest level. So these are the personality characteristics of identity achievement individuals. So let's see how this identity is related to the self-esteem. So a positive self-identity is connected to a positive self-esteem. Okay, so having a social identity that is devalued will affect overall self-esteem. Okay, so the reinforcing positive social identity development is very important. So as an individual, we have to develop their social identity because these are very important factor for developing their self-esteem. Thank you very much. So if you have just understood the concept, the theory of Mercia, and if you like the video, then please don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you very much.